Welcome everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. I am Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
And I'm Andy, King of Pennants.
So guys, we have because with the upcoming National in Cleveland next week that I'll be vending at, we're doing a special episode. We almost didn't do the episode because I have so much going on with pricing and packing and pretty hectic, but we decided to make it a Cleveland episode.
Yeah, Cleveland rocks, as they say, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're doing a Cleveland episode. We decided to draft the best all-time or our favorite all-time Cleveland athletes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily born in Cleveland, just playing. It could be, but mostly playing for Cleveland teams, I assume.
Yeah, I think you can go a couple different ways on that. You can definitely, I mean, born playing for a Cleveland team, potentially even like maybe just was in Cleveland for a while. I don't know. Depends on what you want to do, but I think.
Yeah, we can go a different direction for sure. All right. So yes, that's what we're doing today. And we're not going to have an episode next week. So we'll be, because since I'll be away, it's going to be hard to do that from a hotel or whatever. So we'll do that. We'll be back in 2 weeks at some point. I think in August, we're going to have the Rocky Top Picker on. We didn't solidify a date, but we're conversing a little bit about that.
Cool. Yeah. We haven't had anybody on in a couple of weeks, right? Or like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll be a hectic month here with, and you're going to be going away at some point soon. I don't know when that is. I think maybe don't miss a podcast.
Yeah, well, I'll be missing a pod. Yeah, I'll be up in Michigan in late August. So
okay. What's up, Rushmore? Welcome in, man. Definitely got to check out the Rushmore Show. The great drafting podcast as well. So it's going to be a little shorter episode today. We're going to do, like I said, we're drafting our all-time Cleveland players. We're going to cut back a little bit on the segments just so I have get back to pricing stuff. I've priced about 500 pennants over the past 3 days and cards. And
are you like going through individually and making sure, or I mean, like, are you having to? I mean, you're not searching everyone, right? No,
a lot of the stuff I'm searching my own inventory. Like a lot of it's already listed, right? So I'm searching eBay or Etsy to figure out what I priced it at, tagging it.
Gotcha.
I could probably come up with prices on the fly, but if I'm not at the booth, my dad's there. It gets a lot more challenging for him. So trying to make it easy.
Yeah, you want to keep that. You want to keep him as user friendly as possible with your dad. Yeah. Or I'll be selling away stuff for low prices.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh yeah, they're called the Guardians now, Sean. The Cleveland Guardians. We're going to call them the Indians here because of everyone we're drafting. If it's a baseball player, probably play for the Indians. I don't think there's any Guardians on either of our lists. I'm assuming. I could be wrong.
Probably not. Yeah.
What's up, Mark? Welcome in, man.
Hey, Mark. All right,
Rushmore. Good question, Rushmore. So yeah, we're doing it because of the next year. I'm going to be setting up at the National Sports Collectors Convention in Cleveland
next week. So you said next year, but next week.
Next year it's in Chicago.
It'll be at National, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be there vending. So we're doing a Cleveland special for that reason.
And Cleveland steamer, sort of.
No, I don't. All right, we've moved right on past that. But Andy, have you yet to Google YouTube? You ever hear the Cleveland song where it's like a fake, like you have heard that?
Where they're talking about like how bad the city is and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, they end it with like, at least it's not Detroit or something like that. Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
I would play it, but I don't know if it's copyrighted. Plus there's like some questionable words in there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let me actually pull up the wheel of names real fast.
Well, we should probably, let's go over first.
Well, you do that while I get the wheel of names going.
Okay. So my boy, me, is back this week. Crushed him. It was like almost like 70% I beat you, right?
No, I don't think it was that high. I'll pull it up if you don't know the numbers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but
the true King of Pennants will be crowned.
For the king!
Right, baby. Yeah, I couldn't find the other one.
Well, we haven't used that one in a while. No, it's up there. It's right up. I think I moved it up higher.
Oh,
where is it? It's up there.
So finally, I came back. I crushed him this week. I know it. I mean, I know it was at least it's like 65-70%. So
yeah, let me
felt
find
good.
it.
Felt good.
Let me find it.
Finally,
it was 68-33. So pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah, it was so close.
No, it was actually almost identical to the week before my victory over you in the.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was 67-33. So we're tight. Let me get the record. I think the record
So
was
this week. Oh yeah.
go. No, you go for it.
So this week you can pick anybody, almost anything related to Cleveland. So not even just baseball. So it's baseball, football, basketball, any other sport. You can put, and you can go two different ways. I think we kind of both said that we're going to do this. You could either pick a Cleveland athlete, like somebody that's born and raised in Cleveland, or, and I think Cleveland or suburbs, I think is, we're not saying, we're not super strict on that, but so Cleveland, well, yeah, I'm not, okay, we're not picking somebody from Toledo or.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What's up, Harry? Harry Homestone, how's it going, man?
But yeah, I think it can be I think my guess is more, at least for me, it was a lot easier to find top players for Cleveland sports teams than it was for finding not a ton of great Cleveland people, or not people, but people that came from Cleveland.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, you could do two different things, Rushmore. You could born in Cleveland, or you could do somebody that played for a Cleveland team. So played for the Indians, played for Cavaliers, whoever. But
yeah, Cleveland Barons, if you want to go hockey. I mean, not that we'll be able to name any of them, but
interesting. I didn't go that route. I hope you picked a Cleveland Baron personally, but
no, I mean, I don't think I will. So what's up? What's up, Ergo Strength? How's it going, man? All right, let me get the wheel of names up here to figure out who picks first.
I think it's a top heavy draft. Top two picks are going to be pretty strong.
Yeah. But last week it was more critical to get the first pick, I feel, than this week.
I don't think so.
I do, but we'll see. Here we go.
Hey, Argo, just so you know, we're picking Cleveland players. Could have played for a Cleveland team. Could have grown up in Cleveland or born in Cleveland. So,
all right. That might be the first time since we've had this podcast that I'm the first overall pick.
Yeah, I actually think that I honestly would. I'm guessing there's probably between two players, or two people, and I would be fine with either, honestly. So I'm kind of happy. Two of all spots, I think two's not a bad spot here.
Yeah, no, I don't really think it matters either way. If you go 1, 4, 2, 3, I think that's gonna be pretty similar both ways. And by the way, Andy, our all-time record at this point is I'm 14, 13, and 4. You're 13, 14, and 4. So
gotcha.
You pulled it a little closer.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it definitely required a little bit of research. Although I will say, I think there's players certainly that played for teams is way easier than finding really good Cleveland, people born and raised in Cleveland.
That's tough. Yeah. All right. Yeah. For me, I mean, I don't think there's a consensus at number one here, but for me, I'm going to go for this team. They don't have a ton of players on this list. This team, I'm going to go the gridiron where my favorite sport. I'm going the greatest running back of all time. I don't care what happened later on with Emmitt Smith breaking a record. I'm going with Jim Brown. Okay. Jim Brown played a short career as well. Didn't play a long career. Also had a great civil rights, part of the civil rights movement later on, political activist, but great running back, a beast of a running back, right? I mean, so I'm going Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns running back.
It was clear cut 1-2 for me. And I like I said, I was not completely interchangeable. I actually don't think that I would have gone. I thought that's who I was going to get when I was like, okay, that's fine.
But you said you disagreeing, and he's not the number one overall running back. You're going Emmitt Smith.
No, go. You can keep not saying the real person's name, but that's
come on now.
It's Barry Sanders.
I mean, Jim Brown actually won championships. That's all I'm saying. But all right, let's move on to number 2 overall pick.
All right. Well, again, it's 1 and 2 for me. So here's the thing. It's really kind of a double whammy for me because I'm going to go with the one and only LeBron James, obviously. He was actually from that area, right? I don't know if he was in Cleveland per se, but he's certainly from Ohio.
Yeah, he's in that area. Yeah, I think he's a suburb, but I don't think it's in the city limits. But yeah, you get both with that one.
Yeah,
That
so
doesn't
that was
give you-
kind of a double whammy. I think that's kind of a bonus bet that I got with that one.
Nah, that doesn't count as any bonus. That doesn't count as any bonus.
Can you just put on their bonus, please, for that one?
Oh, what is this? Oh,
But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's the best player of all time, best college player, or sorry, best basketball player of all time, but certainly top 5, maybe even top 3, top 4. I would say probably top 3 at this point. It's hard to.
yeah. I mean, I like the pick, but he wasn't my number 2 pick either. So that's all right. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have him on my list for sure.
Well, of course you do, as well you should.
All right, let me put him in there.
Akron. Okay. Yeah, I knew. I knew that.
Which is like
obviously the coming home.
Which is probably like a couple hours from Cleveland, right? I mean, I passed through like Kent, Akron area going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an hour. I forget exactly, but
I don't know that. I've ridden through Ohio about 1 million times.
yeah, Grover, Cleveland. Yeah, I like to go back a little bit, go back to the history there.
He. My guess is he's going to be heavily. There's going to be a lot of old players on his picks, but we'll see. All right. So okay, top 2 picks. Those are my top 2 picks. Clearly, Keith is not going. He's trying to buck the trend, I guess. So
no, I mean, I think I don't know. We'll let the people decide later on who did better what here, but that's okay. I'm happy with how it went.
okay.
But I will say there aren't a whole lot of basketball players we could be taking. So nor Browns really. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure there's more, but
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the first segment here.
There's really nobody in Cleveland. It's hard to draft.
Yeah. All right. So, by the way, though, the giveaway, which is going to be the third. Well, let me do that. Let me do this first. Let's keep it in.
Sale of the week.
All right. So our sales of the week, we show each other our sales of the week. We want to get within 10% of the selling prices to win. We want the chat to guess along. The third item, my second item that I show, we're going to do a little giveaway. You get it's a Cleveland special here. Not the Cleveland Steamers, Andy said. We got a little Rocky Colavito 1965 tops, not mint, but vintage card. Pair of Manny Ramirez rookie cards.
Ah, very nice.
Sealed 90 score baseball pack. Yeah, I picked these 3 up in my recent YouTube video, so I figured pay it forward there to someone in the chat.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So let me get to my first one here.
Oh, by the way, I owe Ergo some winnings.
Yeah, you have all the winnings.
I was gonna. Yeah, I know. I have to deliver them. Yeah. I was gonna take my steel chariot over there, or my steel horse over there, but I have not. It's been too hot.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
So here we have a button, pinback button, Andy, 1928 University of Illinois versus Northwestern homecoming button.
Okay.
Now, this is a little bit, if this was a couple years earlier, maybe 4 years earlier, this would be a lot better button. Any idea why?
So I'm sure it would have Red Grange or somebody in it.
Yeah, Red Grange. Red Grange would have been in Illinois a few years earlier than this, 4 years earlier than this. So still, yeah, that would have been a lot better, but still not a bad piece.
You got to be impressed that I pulled that name too.
Slightly, I'm shocked actually, but I wouldn't say I'm impressed, but I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm. I love he's always thinks he holds something over me, like he's always like I'm so smart or something, and then when I know it, it just like eats away at him.
Oh yeah,
I'm just so annoyed.
Ruined my whole week.
Okay, cool. All right, well we'll have to link up definitely because I got a couple and maybe another goodie for you too. So,
I mean, yeah, we don't necessarily. I know some of the other drafts don't want leaking picks. We don't necessarily care, but we won't let that influence us. So yeah, I'll put it that way. I mean, if you want to throw your 2 cents in there, you're welcome to do it, but
yeah,
we won't let it influence us. Cause I think me and Andy already have our rank list down. I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I have my list. I it's pretty fluid depending on who I get, but yeah, I mean, we don't care either way. I don't think.
Yeah. But, pretty laissez-faire over here.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't think That's a pretty fancy pin too. It's got little streamers and stuff going
Yeah,
down.
the ribbons. Yeah.
How big is it? Give me a little.
Yeah,
like
good
this big?
question. Well, I'm trying to find something that's like, I don't know. It's about like 2 inches wide by 1.5 tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty small.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I mean, it's average size for a pin back.
I don't know what you're saying. Average size. Okay. Well, if anybody wants to guess, feel free. I'm gonna go. I think it's kind of a. I don't think this is your. I don't think it's an absolute banger for you. I know you've been hitting them out of the park recently. Okay, Mark is coming in hot. That's more than I would say. Okay, Harry. Okay, yeah, I was thinking a little closer to Harry.
In real life's at 129. I'd Pork Palin. Welcome in, I'd Pork Palin. 45.
The next one, just as a heads up, is the giveaway.
Yeah, the third item overall. My second item. Eric goes in at $59.99.
Strong. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go $79.99 is my guess. I think it's under 100. We're pretty sure about that.
Okay.
And then, but Mark's got me scared with his 229 because he's
usually knows.
He knows the stuff.
Oh wow! Wow.
Okay. Well, I
I've
guess
used that one a little bit. I mean, real life is on his game already here.
Ooh, okay. All right. I was surprised. I was a little surprised it's over 100, but I wasn't that crazy.
No.
It wasn't
No,
like a $500 pin like you do sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So for mine, we're gonna do.
That's pretty good, Harry. I like that idea. Yeah, top 10 YouTube names. So we got I'd Pork Palin. You got Fart Sack Jack. I'll think of some other ones here.
I mean, Harry Homestone. I like that. I just like it always rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, that's definitely very alliterative.
Yeah.
Which is always a challenge for me. I'm not good with alliterative things.
No,
Pastime Picks Podcast, right?
All right.
Yeah, Sean. Congrats, man. You nailed that one.
So what I'm going to show you, Keith, there's two here. Okay. There's, first of all, this one. So this is two cards. So some of you know I'm a bit of an addict of Whatnot. I've been getting in a couple breaks. I've had this card for a while. I just hadn't sold it. This is one of the cards I took to the card show.
Yeah.
To see what they're going to give it for me.
I'll tell you, Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't have a great autograph down there. Just JX,
yeah.
Which is most of the players.
Yeah. It's a pretty good patch, though.
Yeah, the patch is good. Yeah.
And then this is the other one.
Okay. Say Flowers. Yeah, I guess that's the standard fare for autographs because that's not much better either.
Yeah.
Well, they're all like that, I guess. AR and
pretty much, yeah. A lot of them are like that. There's some better ones. So these are they're lower. I don't know the exact. I can look it up. But while you're thinking about it or talk through it, whatever you want, I'll tell you what the actual numbers are, like
what they're numbered out of.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a key. I'm not gonna be able to.
All right. Okay, I got it.
But this is not a patch. The first one was a patch.
Right. This is just an auto.
Okay. Was that patch?
So Zayflower was 96 out of 149.
Okay.
And the Jackson Smith and Jigba was 96 out of 149.
Okay, so similar.
Mm-hmm.
I would think the JSN's gonna be a little bit better. Obviously, you got an RPA on that one. You got the patch and the auto. This just being an auto, similar number, and they're same buyer. So I'm doing a total for both of them.
Yeah, same buyer. They bought them. There's two auctions, so there wasn't a buy it now.
Oh, you ran auctions.
I ran auctions on both of them.
Oh wow, that's risky. But is it hard to price them? Why'd you do it that way?
Just because I think there's a little bit more upside on it. I started them I didn't start them at $1. Put it that way.
Okay.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
All right. I'm gonna say.
Did he really? I didn't know that. Dexter Manley signed with just an X.
Well, I think he was. Wasn't he like illiterate?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast on him that was talking about the Crime and Sports podcast, which is an awesome podcast. If anybody's has a road trip coming up, but he had.
I mean, it's no Pastime Picks podcast.
No, that's true. Yeah, we're not on like a. Well, we were. Our first episode is on some sort of audio platform. I forget where I put it, but
I have no idea.
It's a lot of work to get that. Do that each week.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go $74.99 on the JSN.
Right,
$45.
You have to add up. Okay.
Yeah, I'll add up. $74.99, $45. What do we got? I'm at $119.99.
All right. Let's do a little quick.
Oh wow, we're all pretty close on the. I didn't even look in the chat, but $149 for real life. I had Pork Palin at $129. Mark at $123.99. Harry at $55.
I will say also this is free shipping too, so this is if that factors into your.
What's up, Orlando? How's it going, man?
All right, ready?
Yes, sir. I got out of the gate strong.
Yeah, I thought you had it. There you go.
Okay. Well, what's a breakdown for it? Do you know?
$80 a piece, actually. Exactly.
Oh, wow. Even
$80.
Interesting. Okay.
Bizarre. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They both sold for $80 to the same person. Huh. And I don't know, like, yeah, it's crazy. I was a little surprised by that.
You say that one more time. I'm gonna have to jump off and watch that movie. What movie is he talking about, Andy? Blanking here. What would we say? Or did somebody say something in the chat? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I was a little surprised. I started them, I think both at, I think the comps are around 50 a piece for them, maybe.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the thing with, I mean, most resellers will tell you auctions you're gonna take a bath most times.
Yeah.
But I guess these kind of modern stuff where there's not a market, no set market. I mean, maybe there's comps there, but obviously this outsold the comp.
Yeah, no, I think pretty considerably. Yeah, this one was. I'm finding that there's a lot of push at the end. I mean, people are really depending on the player too. I don't think older players and stuff like that don't do as well. These are both like rookie, kind of somewhat desirable, but they're actually not very low numbered. 149 is not a low number really on a lot of these cards.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I was surprised that I got
surprising,
but
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to always run auctions only on eBay, and I would have them all in on Sunday night. It's nice to move inventory every week, but
yeah,
you know,
I have some up for auction. I've had the Ricky Williams up running, and that hasn't gone yet. That has I've had a couple offers on it, but
oh, you mean to buy it now? You have it up?
No, I have it as an auction, but I have the minimum price the starting price is kind of high.
Okay.
So, all right.
Oh, okay. It was a Palin movie. All right, let me get to. So here's for the giveaway on this one. Let me pull this up. All right, so here we have into the Cleveland thing. Let me see if I have one of these on my shelf. Yeah, well, what is that? You won't be able to see it. This is a cast iron metal bottle opener, 1960s cast iron. They're about like, I mean, you won't be able to see it. There's one on my top shelf over there, but
yeah,
I have to unhook my earphones to grab that. So I'll leave it sit there. But yeah, these are about like 3 inches tall. They're heavy. They're like a paperweight / bottle opener. The bottom's a bottle opener.
Okay. And what are these from? This must be 60s, right?
60s, yeah, 60s. Hey guys, this is for the giveaway. So the winner of the pricing guess on this get two. Let me make my side big for a second. You get a Manny Ramirez rookie upper deck. You get the Manny Ramirez rookie tops. My favorite out of that group, you got the 1965 tops Rocky Colavito. So again, all Cleveland themed here.
Yeah.
And the score sealed pack. Throw a little pack in there for you.
Cool. Yeah, I got interesting. I kind of want to see where where Mark's at. I feel like he had to have had some form of these. I feel like Just it feels like a market.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Well, they do have baseball ones too. I've had a Yankees. I might have a Mets somewhere sitting on my shelf, but
yeah.
And I have a bunch of Eagles ones. They come in a couple different varieties for the Eagles. So
I have no clue on these.
So Real Life's in at 89. Harry Humstone's in at 74. Ergo's in at 165. I never saw a Lions one. Yeah, he's got the hockey ones are the rares for sure. Eddie, we had some of them from the warehouse. They were
I remember. That's what I thought. And I could have sworn Mark had talked about them before too.
Yeah, the ice skate. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Well, I can't think it's more. I mean, I don't even think the hockey ones went. I thought the hockey ones were going for like 150 or something. From if I recall. So I would guess this one's significantly under that. Oh, Mark's changing it. 95, 99. We got official from Mark. So
okay.
Not official, but he just say
the newest bid is his price.
Correct. All right. Last chance. I'm gonna go 79.99 is my guess. I feel like I think you're throwing me for a little bit of a loop because I think this is lesser cost than your first one.
So $79.99. Okay, so we got make sure everyone's in on the giveaway. It looks like we probably are because we have good amount of guesses there. Okay. All right, let me let Andy know how he did, and then I'll let the chat know how they did.
He's not gonna. I didn't get it.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Good thing you used the baseball clip for the football helmet.
Yeah, I know. You weren't far off. It's still a loss. Still a loss.
So
I sort of forced this one in because it was Cleveland, right? It wasn't one of my better sales of the week, but it's a good sale.
I believe, is it Harry? Harry might be.
I think it was. I thought it was Harry when I saw him guess earlier, but let's see. It's Real Life's at 89. Harry, Ergo. Yeah. Harry Humstone.
Congrats, Harry.
Yeah. Congrats, Harry. That's coming your way.
Hopefully you'll pull Bo Jackson out of that. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the shoulder pad, Bo Jackson. Yep. Yeah, and Harry picked up some good sports stuff at his flea market, his yard sale find this Sunday. A couple like BF3 mini pennants, which are definitely a bolo.
Yeah, I think. Am I wrong in saying that the hockey ones were like 150? Okay.
I mean, I think they can be 80 to 150. I guess. Yeah, it depends on the team.
That's the only reason I kind of remember you talking about them, and that these were not as desirable as the hockey ones, because the hockey ones are decidedly cooler just because they have the skate and everything, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of cool looking, and hence probably why. Not to mention they're probably less amount there too, I would guess.
Probably, yeah. They're definitely bigger, which is cool.
Yeah. All right, we ready?
Yeah. All right. So you don't have another one. You're done.
Oh, okay.
We'll save it to the end. Save it to the end. We'll get circle back to that.
If we have time, we'll do one.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share this. Here we got so far. We got Jim Brown, then LeBron James. Okay. Yeah. So Mark paid 80 for his Bruins one. So that seems that's a good buy. I think it's probably the low end of it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna go to baseball on this one. So not a ton of great, like you said, recent Cleveland athletes. But this one, I don't know. Maybe you were thinking this is kind of your number 2 or something. This is really kind of more your wheelhouse, the ancient baseball era, really. I'm going to go with Shoeless Joe Jackson. It's my pick.
Interesting pick. Because I mean, when you think of Shoeless Joe, you don't think of the Cleveland Indians. But
he played on there.
I know.
Okay.
No, I know. I'm just saying, most people, when you think of Shoeless Joe, they're thinking Chicago. The Black Sox.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not a bad pick.
He was definitely before he went, right?
What's that?
Before or after?
Hold on, I'm typing here. It would be he played Cleveland first because he was suspended. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He was talking about Manny. I was off screen typing that in. Yeah. Manny Ramirez was an Indian. Yep. Those are the rookie cards that I gave away. He was in his Indians jersey there.
Yeah, and then he went to Boston after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's another baseball player too that you may go with back then too, but okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of baseball players here. I'm gonna go.
I thought you had a number
right.
two.
I do. No, I do. I'm actually two guys I can go back and forth with here. They're
well. Good thing you have 2 picks in a row.
I know, so it's not a stress. But I'm gonna go. I mean, one of the top players of all time, and we talked about him when we drafted our all-time outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this gentleman was the first overall pick in the outfield draft. I'm going to go Tris Speaker.
Yeah.
Also known for his Boston Red Sox time, but Tris Speaker, I mean, one of the greatest of that time period. And I mean, still has the all-time record in doubles, as we talked about in that draft, which is amazing. Yeah. I mean, he finished playing in the mid to late 20s, if I remember. I forget the exact year. And still to hold a record like that is amazing 100 years later.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Tris Speaker. All right, let me type him in.
I knew Mark would like that.
Yeah, that might be why I chose him in the second round over my third round pick. Third round pick is equally good, though, I feel. So,
well, Tris was on my list. I wasn't sure where to go with him on that. I guess I like the names maybe a little bigger. And I mean, Shoeless Joe Jackson was played, a good amount of years in the Cleveland. It was the Cleveland something different though. It wasn't the Cleveland.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but yeah, I mean, most people, your average Joe, I mean, it was going to know Shoeless Joe better just because of the lore of the scandal and everything else. But I mean, I think Tris Speaker is a better all around player. I mean, it's arguably.
Gaylord Perry. What do you? Another good name.
Yeah, Naps. It was Broncos, Naps. Okay, let's get to a quick segment here. This will be a very brief segment because we're going to roll through some segments here. Where's this guy?
Oh, no. Major League 2? Okay. So Major League 1 you can get through, though, right?
Yeah, you can always get through that.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought you were. Major League 2, I don't even remember that much. They got progressively worse, as I recall. I mean, like Major League 5, I feel like at some point they had to.
Troll of the week.
All right. YouTube troll, even though I still have them rolling in a little bit. This is actually an eBay troll. An eBay troll. Renee, check out this feedback I got. And now this is positive feedback, so it didn't bother me terribly.
Okay.
But read the cost of shipping for such a small and lightweight foldable item was absurdly high.
What was it?
Well, it's a pennant.
Oh, okay.
It's a pennant. And what do you think my absurd high shipping cost was on a pennant that I shipped in a box?
Is it like free shipping?
Not free. I don't ship anything free. Come on.
Well, at the most it was $6 probably.
Yeah, here's the item. Here's the item. $4.50 was the absurd high shipping for this person.
You can't ship anything like that.
I know that you cannot ship anything post office unless I'm throwing a stamp right on that pennant, write her name on the pennant.
That's insane.
I mean, yeah, these people. Thankfully, it was a positive feedback with that, whatever. But
that's crazy.
I blocked her, even though she left me positive feedback. She's blocked.
I've gotten a few feedbacks like that saying because I just have the basic is $6 shipping.
Yeah,
for the most part. Some of the cards I'll ship for free just because and even those though they still cost like $3. I don't put them in I guess I can put them in more of a flat rate thing, but
yeah, you can't ship anything ground advantage under like $3.75, right?
Yeah.
It's like if it's in a bubble mailer or a box,
yeah,
box is $4.50, and I have to pay for the box, right? So
and the tape and all the other stuff, and the
wrap
and the bubble wrap, all that.
But being a pennant, both of us are pennant gurus, right? I mean,
some more than others.
Get the heck out of here. I will watch my reel coming up this week of the pennants I'm bringing to Cleveland. You'll see some
bangers.
Yeah, bangers and quantity. I'm bringing. I'm not even sure I have space for what I'm bringing, but I'll make it work. But like I have had people buy them at shows. I have it in a hard sleeve, right? They take it out of the hard sleeve and they take this thing and fold it into like 6 pieces into their bag. I'm like,
does it hurt?
They're like breaking this thing in half. So I guess she wanted me to fold this thing in half and put it in a 29-cent envelope or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the troll of the week. Not the worst troll, but
could be worse. Yeah.
Still blocked. Annie, I'll give you that name so you can block her too. I'm assuming it's
That's true. She's gonna really freak out over my shipping costs.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to the draft here. We get to the there we go. So there we go. We want Jim Brown, LeBron, Sheila Stroh, Tris Speaker. I'm going obviously back to baseball. It's gonna be like a baseball. King of High Shipping. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Andy, I know, the King of Pennants, but is any of all your pennants $6?
Yeah.
Usually I'll do, if it's a mini pennant, I'll do $5. If it's like a tiny pennant, I'll do $4.50. But yeah.
Yeah. No,
but you probably don't have a ton of mini pennants listed. You might have some.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really had, I mean, if somebody really, is heard about that, then I'll even give them $1 or $2 back.
No, $6 is if you go look at all the other pennants, they're like $8, $9. So we're pretty affordable in our pennant shipping.
There you go.
All right. So going back to baseball, I'm gonna go one of the better pitchers of all time. Definitely best pitcher of one of the better pitchers of his era.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy played in the major leagues as like a teenager. I mean, almost 100 miles an hour as a 17-year-old in Major League Baseball. Served in World War II. This dude, Andy, not only great pitcher, he also out-threw a speeding Harley Davidson. Did you hear that?
But that's not that hard to do, honestly.
Bob Feller, talking about Bob Feller.
Yeah,
they had a thing in Chicago where he was pitching and they had a Harley speed past him going 86 and to see who would win, the ball or the motorcycle. He beat the motorcycle.
There you go.
So that Bob Feller.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Also a good pick. Obviously that, I mean, you've exhausted, I think, or we have. Mostly you, I guess, have exhausted almost all the baseball, I would say, for the most part. And
he did throw 3 no-hitters, too. That's
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not an easy feat.
Okay. Let me see where we want to go here. All right, I got back-to-back picks here. And I know one pick that I'm going to pick that you will not pick at all. So I'm going to save that to the absolute last pick. I just know you won't pick it.
Interesting.
Okay. So here's another double whammy for you too. Because not only was he a legendary, I'm going to go back to football. Not only was he a legendary Brown, but I would argue he's one of the best, if not the best, during his era, front office people, like front office executives.
Okay.
Have any idea where I'm going with this?
No, I want to hear it though.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure I'm going to win this one, but we'll see. I'm going to go with Ozzie Newsome. So Ozzie Newsome was one of the best tight ends of all time. And even more impressive because basically, yes, there you go.
I knew he was a great GM with the Ravens, but I mean, I didn't even think of him.
So
because of the pick
with the Ravens, but the Ravens were the Browns.
I'm not. No, yeah. I know. I'm not saying that excludes him as being a Cleveland Brown. Obviously, he was a great Brown.
Okay. So you were saying that you thought he was a Cleveland. I was implying that he was a Cleveland Brown executive too.
No. From where I didn't think of him because I have a clearly next Brown that I would pick, and I'm like I was thinking this guy not a GM. This guy was not an executive, so that threw me off. I didn't have Newsome on my list.
Okay,
but I mean, he's ranked.
Yeah, I like him as a double whammy. I mean, I think I know who your next player is, and you're decidedly stay in the old era. So I like a little more of a newer pick. I mean, he was in the 70s, but at his, I think, he's also. I think he's almost as impressive as GM, honestly. So. But yeah, he was an incredible tight end too. So
incredible tight end, just because every other tight end in the league at that point and before were like blockers. They barely ran routes, right? A lot of those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was definitely changed the mold of like
he revolutionized the position. I would say that's even more impressive.
But if you put him on the field now as a tight end, I don't think he's a great tight end.
Well, yeah, because he's damn near 70, 80 years old at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
But no, I agree. I'm a great tight end. You know, but you did probably change the position. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. There's my pick.
Yeah. It's a shocking one, but I like the thinking behind it.
Yeah. He also, and I mean, really, because I consider the Ravens actually the Browns, which they just got completely hosed in that whole situation. And I think he was with the Browns prior to the move, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I think he was in the front office. I don't know if he was the GM at that point, but yeah. I mean, just look at some of his picks that he's made. This is absolutely insane. He's always been a great pick.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I think it's a better pick from the GM standpoint than the player standpoint. But you take both. You get both together, so it's good.
Get a wham bam. Thank you, man, for that. That means.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't either.
And people, I think I'm going to lose this one pretty badly. I think if you keep, because I know you're going next, but
I don't think you do. But I mean, I know you.
Pretty sure I do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to a segment.
Gonna go back in time. Gonna go back in time. In picking history.
All right.
Did
So
you need to click that off?
I did. I was trying to click it off for the segment video.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So what do you got for him? Back in time.
So back in time. This is just a little, with the national coming up, is going to tell a little national story. Right. Okay. So my first national probably that I went to, I've set up in about 10 to 12 nationals. I forget exactly how many. I could figure it out. But the first one I went to is probably about 15 years ago. Terrell Suggs. Is that what I see?
T Sizzle, baby.
Yeah, you don't get all the Ravens. That's not. But yeah, went with my dad, Cleveland, that show too. And I walked into the show. And before the show, I made this great find of Pottsville Maroons items in a Chambersburg estate. I bought like 5 cabinet photos of the Maroons, were early pro football team. And I had talked to a guy before the show, one of my friends. I'm like, hey man, I picked this up. You interested? He's like, yeah, definitely interested. Bring it to my booth at the show. So I had 5 of them, right? I'm not advertising. I have 5 of them.
5 cabinet photos? You know?
Yeah, 5 the same photo. It was,
okay.
It was the business manager's estate of the team. So he had a bunch of like cool documents that I got.
Oh, wow.
So I went to the show and I'm walking through the show. And that show, I was just carrying stuff booth to booth, selling stuff. If anyone goes to that show, go to the national, that's fun, man. You just bring stuff to sell, and dealers love it. Dealers love to buy stuff as walk-ins.
Yeah.
Right. So I go to
do you get a lot of that stuff in your booths that you've done? I mean,
I do. Yeah. I bought some great stuff as walk-ins over the years. Yeah. Depends where you're at in the show too. It's sort of layout based. So I'm the first row of the show, and I know a really high-end dealer that I know. I show him some stuff I brought, show him one of those photos, and he jumps all over it. He buys it right away. And my buddy is in like the 3rd row of the show, right? So I'm like I'm showing stuff to other people going through, and I get to that third row, and my buddy, who was not like a close friend at that point, I've become closer friends now with him, but we're an acquaintance at that point.
Which one was it?
Huh? The guy who I would talk to about this piece.
That's not somebody I know.
No, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I walk up to his booth, and he's like almost ready to curse me out. It's like, what the hell? You said you're going to show that to me. You didn't bring me that piece. This is all within like a half an hour. Like, I sold the piece to the other guy, and the guy he tried to run it over and sell it to him, like upcharge him like $2,000 on it, and he didn't buy it because he was angry that he was getting charged like $2,000 more than that I was telling him the price would be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey man, I got 5 of them. I didn't want to tell you I had 5 of them, so he can still have one at that price. And I sold one to his other buddy.
Oh wow.
So it's just funny, like the electricity, the energy in a national, like that all happened within 20, 30 minutes. Like people trying to flip things.
That's crazy.
So I thought there's a fun story that a happy ending. The guy wasn't pissed off at me after he realized I had more than one.
Well, you love to give happy endings, so it's a good job for you.
Come on now, that's gonna ruin a good story with that. So.
All right, yeah, that's cool. I know you've got other ones too. At least maybe not national or something, but I remember you have a good quilt one too, right? Quilt pennant story one time. Didn't you do that? I thought you had like a.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I did sell
was that like one of your biggest sales ever or something?
Not a quilt pennant, no. But one of my biggest sales ever actually was something I bought at a national too.
Oh.
I bought a Pottsville Maroons again. It was a Pottsville Maroons trophy. One of the most expensive items I've ever bought. I bought it at a national in Chicago like 7 years ago. And it was a trophy that they won as a coal championship in like 1920.
Mm-hmm.
Paid $9,000 for the trophy.
Damn.
Kept it for a year. I was going to keep it. I'm a Yellow Jackets collector, but they're like rivals. That's like having a Cowboys trophy in my house as an Eagles collector. So I did flip it, doubled up on it a year later. So that was happy. That was a nice one of my better sales I've ever had.
I thought, didn't you have a quilt that had a bunch of really high-end pennants on it that you like cut apart or something? Maybe not.
I've done that, but yeah, I've done that, but not a super high-end pennant there.
Oh, okay.
My fun of the week type. Oh, wow. Nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's all this week. Yeah. I guess I guess people are selling stuff prior to the national to try to get some cash.
Up some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's true. Probably getting cash.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. So that's a little picking history there, or flipping history, I guess you would say.
Okay, so you're decidedly going baseball so far, right? You haven't picked a football player yet.
No, Jim started with Jim Brown. Yeah, Jim Brown.
Okay.
Off. All right.
So it's me again, right? I'm coming back.
I don't think so. No, I went LeBron. It went Jim Brown, LeBron, Shoeless, Tris Speaker, Bob Feller, Ozzie Newsome. So it's back to you.
I don't even know why he tries to argue with me. He has no idea what he's talking about. All right, I am going to go. Okay, my last pick, I already know I'm picking.
Yeah, for sure, Mark. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, but you can definitely get some deals this week where people are trying to get some funds together.
I should probably look at that some. Okay. I'm going to go. So my my player, or my athlete, is not one that played on any Cleveland team ever. So he was never a Cleveland Brown. He's never. You cannot pick celebrities.
Has to be an athlete. I mean,
has to be an athlete. Yeah. That's
true. Bob Hope did play golf.
Yeah.
Not professionally, I guess. Just.
But yeah, he never played for anybody, any professional Cleveland teams or anything like that. He did, however, grow up in Cleveland, went to a little college named Cincinnati, and is one of the best Eagles players of all time. I'm going to go with Jason Kelce. I lied. Are you a little upset?
You freaking jerk. It's crushing.
You freaking jerk. That's what you said to me. How sad are you?
Oh, is that why? I think somebody alluded to something in the chat earlier, right? Did it say something earlier in the chat that alluded to that?
Know. Yeah. Yeah, you can take Travis, Keith. You want to take Travis?
I'm not taking Travis. Hell with that.
I knew there's only one Kelce on the list that you would want.
Oh.
And that's why I'm saying I don't know if it's going to win me, but that made my day just to see the sadness on your face.
Freaking jerk. Not a good pick, but
what are you talking about? He's one of the best centers of all time.
It's true. It's true.
Certainly going up in the Eagles, what is it? The Eagles' bird nest or whatever they call it
there. Ring of Honor, I guess.
Oh,
so. Yeah. I don't know what do they call it that? I don't even know. They just call it I don't even know what they call that, to be honest. All right, that hurt. Oh, I got too many players I want to pick left on my list. I'm like, you're taking guys I didn't rank, so it's like.
Would you have taken Kelce?
No, I strictly went with Cleveland pro player.
Okay.
So damn. All right.
Wait, why are you so upset then if you weren't going to take him anyway?
I wasn't going to take him. I didn't really think of. I think there was enough great players who played on Cleveland teams. I didn't stray into the city as much.
Into the city, okay.
City-born athletes.
I gotcha.
All right.
Maybe you should have.
I'm going to go one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks in history. Definitely the best quarterback of his time. I mean, held all the passing records during his time as quarterback. And I mean, his team had like an outstanding record with the Browns. I mean, it was, I think 57-13-1, which is amazing Or nobody's done that in modern times. I'm sure you look at Brady's record, nowhere near that. Peyton Manning, nowhere near that.
I think like the highest really percentage for win percentage was like maybe 600 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I knew Mark and I knew this was coming. Of course, I know. I mean,
it had to come. It should have went well above Newsom, but I'm going to go Otto Graham.
Yeah,
got to go Otto Graham here.
It was on my list,
really should have been number 1, number 2 in the draft, but I'll take him in the 4th.
It's all relative. I mean, I valued other things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a boring pick, but yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not as fun as really sucking the life out of you there.
Here's what we got so far. So I don't think I've had a player I've selected so far that was played when I was alive. If you have several.
Yeah.
So
I've even really had 2 players that one is still playing and the other is just stopped. So
yeah.
Mark, I knew this was coming. It's pretty funny.
All right. So it's back to me. I kept it short on segments. I'll get to a sales of the week. Let's do second sales.
More?
Yeah. Another sales of the week. Where are we at? Here.
Sale of the week.
All right. Andy, do you have yours up and ready?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to Pennants, since that's what I am the king of. Okay.
Man, I'm getting bored and killed over here with Otto Graham.
Okay, so Tampa Bay Storm. This is another Arena Football League.
Oh wow, I freaking love the Zubaz going on over there.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Can you zoom in on that Zubaz? Give me a little Zubaz look.
A little Zubaz. All right, let me see.
Yeah,
it's a pretty strong Zubaz.
I like that. I like that. What time period is this? I didn't send my images to myself, so I'm trying to fix that right now.
What's that? What time period? This is the first, I think, incarnation of the Arena League. So it's not Arena 2.
Okay.
They are the world champions, though. Apparently, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never heard of the team, but I didn't really watch Arena League ever.
See what Rushmore said though?
Come on, I don't think so. I think I'm getting hate here in the draft, but I think I can't believe
Mark respects your, because Mark's pretty much a historian, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, my next pick's not going to help my my standing.
Yeah. But yeah. So what do you think? This is, I mean, Arena sells well. I've told you that before. You know that to a certain degree, I think.
I'm trying to send myself images for my pick. Hold on one second. Because I wasn't prepared.
That's like some type of weird kind of code. Maybe if that works out right, 14144. I feel like that's I don't know.
That was his price?
No, that's what it's going to be next week.
Oh.
I think my favorite Rushmore kind of throws stuff out that like it takes you a little while to figure out. There's little digs in there.
Yeah.
They call it what do they call it?
Like coded insults.
Yeah, right. Sneak dissing, I feel like is what they call it.
I think I'm taking him down. I mean, all right. I think this is a good one. Okay. I've never seen the pennant before. The graphic is awesome. I don't know what
Zubaz.
I don't know what that stadium is. It almost like the New Orleans Superdome.
Yeah, I don't know.
It must be the Superdome because I don't think they have a dome in Tampa, do they?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm not even sure. I mean, these arena leagues were pretty like they didn't have a whole lot of money, so they also could have potentially just been like a stock image of a stadium that they put on their.
Yeah, I think that's the case. But I'm going high on this one. I'm going $75 on this one.
Okay,
it's pretty badass pennant.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. Last question. Last one.
$90. We got Harry at 38. $90 with Rushmore. $29.99 with Mark.
All right.
Just find a win already.
Let the celebration begin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Ways.
feel like there's some shenanigans going on here.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
I
Not
feel
at
like
all.
you knew something, guys. I don't know.
No, I swear to God, I would not. I don't even look at your eBay store in forever.
Oh, okay.
Not as an insult. I'm
No,
busy.
I mean like you get creeping in my store sometimes. No, this one I had up for $99.99 actually, and I took 75. So
Sorry, I couldn't even. That is my dog, Ergo. Yeah, that's my Whippet. Yeah, he made a
Yeah.
little appearance there. All right. I'm on fire now. See,
there you go. Well done. I'll give you credit.
let's
where credit is
rethink
due.
that 14, and 4 Rushmore. Let's rethink that because I'm in winning ways here.
That's
Eddie,
not-
I'm going to give you a quick.
You don't get credits for that.
I'm going to give you a quick 2 because this one, I sold this piece before, different physical item, but the same piece. So, you remember this one?
Joe Macon, or is it Joe? Right?
No, George Mikan.
George Mikan. Sorry.
So 1948 exhibit card, George Mikan rookie card. This is the second one of these I've had recently. So since I sold one, you might know since I sold it before, recent time.
I feel like you sold this one for okay. Yes, Rushmore. It was up for $199, or it was up for $99.99, I think. So you were definitely where I was hoping to be. But it was sitting for a while too, so I took the offer. So this George Mikan, I think I want to say you sold it for like $250 or $300 last time, and I think this, if I recall, you said this is in better condition.
Yeah, this
You
one had
bought it
less
from the-
boxing.
Bought it from the same guy. So I'm gonna go a little higher than that one. So I'm gonna go $499.99 is my guess.
Okay, $4.99.
Yeah, you can just. I mean, we don't have to.
Yeah, we'll roll through it. Here we go. On this one, we got. But you're right. And this does go through the eBay authentication, so we'll see how that goes. Mark's at $429. Let me get your answer here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's definitely a cool one.
I wanted to have this at the National. It sold today. I didn't even ship it yet, but
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, can't turn down the money just so I could sell it there. And
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
With karate, I'll kick your ass.
all right,
That's close. I feel like. Oh, okay, not that close.
you're somewhat close. Yeah.
What did you
but
sell the other one for? $250 or $300 or something?
I think it was about the same price, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I think
Okay.
maybe 300, maybe 300. I don't remember exactly though. But yeah, Ergo was very close on that one.
Nice.
The last item, Andy, not sports at all, but let me roll this one out there. It's sort of cool. Here we have a
Oh, is
19
it's like a printer cut or printer piece?
Yeah, 1970 Peanuts. It's a baseball comic. It's baseball scene comic strip metal print block. I guess they made these in Denmark.
I kind of think I would think this thing's pretty expensive, but I don't know. I would have bought this thing in a second, but
You like it?
I do. I'm not gonna. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to read because it's backwards, but I guess.
Yeah, usually I'll reverse the image on one of my listings.
Gotcha. I would say that thing would go for $125. We'll say $125. Yeah, $125 even. Yeah, Ergo's in my.
Yeah, Ergo's very close to you. Yeah. All right, let me. This actually, I believe it went to an international buyer. I forget exactly. I think that was the case.
You bought Mark. You bought the one of these, one of the print things.
This is 1970. Ergo. Oh yeah, he's probably talking about print blocks. I love selling print blocks.
Yeah,
I
cool.
sold them. All right, let me let Andy know.
He'll go, 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 yo, go.
I may have overvalued it. I feel like it's less than that. Oh my God, you jerk!
Yeah, I was. All
right, well, keep my eyes open for. It probably is a double whammy, right? Because it's the Peanuts. I mean, that's probably the best one you could probably hope for, right?
Yeah, we got a little baseball action and Peanuts in there. Yeah.
Is Snoopy in that or no?
Let me look at it again. I
mean, I would have thought that would be like you'd want that to be a collector.
No, it's Charlie Brown and the girl. What's the girl's name?
Veronica? I don't know.
No, Patty. Is it Patty?
Patty.
Peppermint Patty?
Peppermint Patty, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. crazy.
All
So
right.
when you're getting stuff like that, I mean, what's the mark? I mean, do the people know what they have, or did you?
Oh no, that was in the storage unit that I bought years ago.
Oh, okay.
I did have that listed for like
Lucy,
3 years.
Okay. So
And I didn't list it for 3 years, and I sold for the full price. I didn't even put an offer in on it.
So you back out inflation, that was actually pretty close then. 3 years. Well,
Sure.
you know,
I don't
if
know
you
if
sold
that
it,
works.
if you sold it when you found it.
Lucy, not Peppermint Patty. But Peppermint Patty's a person. I don't know.
They're both in
I
that?
can't.
I
Yeah,
wanna know which one. Okay.
but Lucy's
Yeah,
the main. Is Peppermint Patty a girl or a boy? I think it's a girl.
Peppermint Patty is one of the first, I feel like, almost like
Tomboy.
LB. Yeah, kind of. Like
Okay.
there was a little ambiguity with her, I think.
I don't really know my characters of that show that well.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm at 342, I believe. Let me I'll verify that while we messed up. My buddy we gave the wrong booth number out in a couple of my video and a couple other people. Cause he signed up. I wasn't at the show last year. He signed us up and he sent me the booth numbers and sent me the numbers from the year before.
Yeah.
So I'll verify that's my booth number. Let's see. Yeah.
She is the bully though. That's true. She's the one that keeps swiping the footballs. Like that's
Yeah. I'm the Lucy in this relationship, Andy.
I don't know about that.
That sounds weird, but yeah, booth 342, Mark, 342.
I do. I know I don't really, but and then
wait, is that your nickname, Sully?
yeah. No, it's because I want to. There's a story to that. Donnie brought up, but
You don't have to.
the whole story. Yeah, it was. If I ever get a boy dog, I'm going to name him Sully because it was like. I always wanted a friend like named Sully, and you weren't Sully. Like just because I think it's a cool like you always want to have a Sully friend, right? Like there's Keith, and then there's Sully. Sully's the guy.
I prefer Sully over Keith. Yeah, Keith's a terrible name.
Yeah, like what did you and Sully get into last night? Well, Sully like passed out on the bathroom floor again. Like he's just always the difficult guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Sully is kind of the guy that everybody has one of them. All right.
Here's where we're at so far.
Back at it.
Back at it. Yeah, a tough call here because there's so many good names still on the board.
That's true. I'm trying to get another golden retriever. Definitely gonna name it Sullivan. Sully.
I wish we could keep going because I want these two players back to.
Sorry, buddy.
Let's see. I got like 4 guys that I want. All right.
Really
I'm going. This guy had a team named after him.
Oh,
We've already talked a little bit about it earlier. I mean, Shoeless Joe played for this team, but it wasn't the Cleveland Joes. It wasn't the Cleveland Shoelesses. It was the Cleveland Naps. I'm going Napoleon Lajoie.
Okay.
I've heard people pronounce that many different ways, but I'm going Napoleon. Great hitter.
I always thought it was Napoleon LaJoie, but okay.
Lajoie, and people have said. I mean, and maybe Mark can pronounce it phonetically right out for me, but how he says it. But
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, Keith, you picked every.
I'm back in time. That's what I do. But let's face it, though. I mean, there were a lot of modern. Well, I'll save it because you have a pick left. Yeah. You have a pick left.
I agree. I mean, no, we will do. Ergo, we're going to do our sort of honorable mentions too.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's. I agree. There's not a lot of, especially new or younger players that don't have a bit of a cloud over them or something like there's some stuff to some of the players too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go. I know this is going to be off your list. I know you never even thought of him. It'll win me probably the win of at least one person. That's Ergo. I know he knows who this guy is. But I'm going to go with arguably the best UFC heavyweight fighter of all time. Yeah. Well, you bet. I mean, some of your guys are.
No, that's fine. No, I'm not mocking. I maybe I had an eye roll. It was a reflex.
So I'm going to go with Stipe Miocic. He's a Cleveland Bull.
You have to make me spell that on this
Yeah, I can
board.
spell
Stipe Miocic.
Miocic, yeah.
Okay. I'm sure he's Cleveland born.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Help me out with the spelling here when you get to it.
Okay.
But tell me about the guy.
Well, he's probably the best, at least currently, the best UFC heavyweight champion of all time. Was just like very dominant for a long time. Cleveland guy, was always like big. There you go. I like to throw in a little mix of stuff too. Variety's good. He always was like throwing out that he was from Cleveland and stuff like that. Like he was very Cleveland forward with that, and he was he's the most dominant fighter in for heavyweights, which is like really a
current fighter.
He is still fighting, I believe, but he basically dominated the division for 10 years. And is widely considered, if not the best heavyweight and one of the top 10 UFC fighters of all time. So there you go. A little different. I know. Yeah. I told you.
Yeah. See, I don't know a single letter right here. So,
Stipe.
Whoa, slow down. STI.
Yeah. PE. Stipe is his name.
Hold on. Let me share this so I can have you. Stipe, like that. Stipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his last name is Miocic.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a lot more letters, and I didn't even think it was an M. I think you said Nia. Okay. All right.
That's true.
Come on. How did I get the Stinky Fingers moniker here? Or was it? I think it was Sticky Fingers. Anyway, it wasn't Stinky Fingers. Right? I didn't go from Sticky to Stinky. And I don't even know why I got that nickname. I forget.
If the shoeless shoe fits.
Oh. Here's Rushmore's top 5. We got LeBron, Jim Brown, Tomei, Bell, Kelsey, and the little honorable mentions there.
That's good. Yeah. So that's cool. I like if people want to put their top 5, then that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great idea, Rushmore. I know you. I'm not sure. I don't know how if you don't get sick of doing this. I know you do so much of this. Keith has a plethora of high school nicknames. Crotch strap, Sticky Fingers.
Do you remember the origin story of Sticky Fingers? Because we had to go back and find that. It must have been
I think you are right. I think it was Sticky Fingers, and then
definitely wasn't Stinky. Yeah, it wasn't Stinky. I don't like that.
I do.
But yeah, he had some good names there. Got
and then like maybe a few episodes from now, we'll have Keith's top 10 high school nicknames.
Maybe for our 50th episode, we'll go back in the best nicknames,
or at least nicknames that we made up for you.
But yeah, he had some good names there. He had a lot of that was there's some modern era big name baseball. Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, Tomei was on my list.
Yeah, the Charlie Manuel era of Indians were Tomei, Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Lofton. There were some good players there. But for me, if I'm going to choose like that era, or I'm going to go to like the early era when they had a lot better quality players in the teens, 20s than the 90s.
Here's the problem with that too, though, because how many baseball teams were back? There weren't as many baseball teams. So there's a lot more chock full on per team. So
no, I think there were a similar amount of teams. I mean, there was more, but they shorter seasons.
Yeah,
we had to look at the standings. I don't think it was a ton more now.
I don't know.
90s.
Lou Boudreau, is that hockey?
No, he's a baseball player.
Okay,
I know more with the Braves, right? I know he played with the Indians.
Okay, so I had. You can keep going, but yeah, I mean, you had a lot of the ones. I had Otto Graham. I had. I had Manny Ramirez. I don't really. Yeah, I feel like he had really kind of. He was more known for Boston, I guess. Maybe
as Shoeless Joe was.
Sure, whatever.
The one that I was debating with, I wanted to take 5th, but I took Knapp. Was Larry Doby. I mean, he broke the color barrier in the American League like 3 months after Jackie Robinson. Nobody really talks as much about him as they do about Jackie Robinson, but. I'm sure endured the similar kind of treatment from fans that Jackie Robinson did.
I like the Mark Price. I had him on my list. Does somebody have that? Somebody have Mark Price? Yeah,
I didn't see.
He had him at the end, Mark Price.
Oh, okay.
He's probably one of the best. I mean, besides LeBron, there's not a ton. Like, he was pretty good, back in that his era.
Speaking of Kozar, who's on a couple lists there, if you look at the all-time Browns, if you go down, I mean, after who we drafted and you go down to Kozar, if you go to, I know, thanks, Mark. It was a good, we should have went 6 rounds. Give me Dobie in the 6th, Andy. But if you look at the top quarterbacks of all time for Cleveland, I was looking at some lists, top quarterbacks, Otto Graham, Bernie Kozar.
Baker Mayfield was like that.
Yeah, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 were like busts. Baker Mayfield, they Tim Couch, like number 6. How do you have your all-time bust being your all-time best quarterback list?
It's rough.
I mean, it's an insane list. If you got to look at those kind of lists.
I saw that. I saw a lot of that because they had Baker Mayfield 3 in the list. I saw.
Yeah. Oh God,
that's insane.
Oh, it's unbelievable that a franchise has been around since the 40s.
I remember Ernest Biner. That's a good one.
Another
good guy was who am I thinking of? Oh, Joe Thomas. I think because honestly, he's probably the second best Brown of all time. I mean, he's as far as a lineman goes, but
there's that good defensive player, Michael Dean Perry. Good defensive player.
Yeah. Jack Lambert was born in Cleveland. I didn't pick him, but that was one of my guys. Jesse Owens was born in Alabama, but moved to Cleveland in 1922. So really moved when he was very young, and kind of those were his formative years. So
that wouldn't have counted. Yeah, I would have been a veto there with that one.
Joe Thomas was an absolute monster. I remember when I think they picked him number 2 in the draft. I think that's what it was. I think the Lions were picking 3 or 4, and I was really hopeful they get Joe Thomas. It's rare that you're like really pushing for a lineman, but yeah, Joe Thomas was an absolute monster.
No, sometimes if you get like the Eagles pick with Lane Johnson, I mean, that set them up for years when you have when you hit on a top tackle in the early rounds.
Well, Lyles Alzado was Oakland mostly, right? Am I wrong?
No, I think it was with Cleveland. He might have started with Cleveland.
Who am I thinking of? Who's
No, he was definitely in Oakland too.
Okay. That's what I guess I remember him for.
Yeah. I mean, not a great player. Not a great player, but this is like, I remember this player in the 90s when Chris Berman would announce on like NFL primetime Sunday nights. And you remember this? Touchdown. You know the player that Chris Berman would do the Michael Jackson.
Yeah. The receiver,
Michael Jackson, the receiver. I always had Michael Jackson on my team. Fantasy.
I also like, speaking of touchdowns, they also had touchdown Tommy Vardell, if you remember him.
Yeah. We talked about him before for some reason.
I don't know why we did.
Yeah.
But then obviously we didn't pick him, but there was, Rick Vaughn and Willie Mays Hayes were also on my list.
That was the thumbnail. Yeah. They said the thumbnail. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that could have worked. The only other one I had was we left out, who's in a similar conversation with Larry Doby, would be Satchel Paige.
Yeah.
I mean, he belonged in the conversation for sure too. Cliff Lee. Yeah. That was ironically, I think it might've been that national that I was talking about earlier, my first national, when the Phillies traded for Cliff Lee that day. I was in Jacobs Field at that point, went to a game, and I was wearing a Phillies jersey, but they weren't playing the Phillies. But I remember they traded Cliff Lee that day, and there was a bunch of Indians fans wearing like paper bags on their head because they traded away Cliff Lee.
That's funny. So
which might have been a violation. Is that a violation to wear an opposing jersey who's not an opposing team that the team is playing that day? I would consider that a violation if I saw that in the Eagles stadium, and if the Eagles are playing the Cowboys and the dude walks in with a Vikings jersey. I think it's a fan code violation.
I see that a lot, honestly. Like, you see a lot of people wearing Dallas Cowboy jerseys to like Ravens games. I'm like, dude, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It was an odd. I wore the Phillies jersey to the convention, then I just went to the game. But so I probably had an excuse.
Eddie Murray, is that you mean the like baseball player or the kicker? I guess because kicker was on. Yeah, kicker was on. Yeah, did he play in the Cleveland? I don't even remember that. I mean, predominantly was on the Orioles, but
yeah, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember his rookie card.
I thought his rookie card was O's, though, right? Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I always considered him with the Orioles. You're right. Maybe he did. I mean, Joe Carter started with the Indians, right? But obviously more known for his time with the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did he start? I mean, 90s. I think he played predominantly, obviously, on the O's, but let's see. Yeah, he did. He played from 94 to 96.
Okay.
It's
pretty late.
It's an awfully nailed, like, that's true. You can pick up a lot more people if they had their careers, tail end careers, maybe at different places, but.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Julio Franco, yeah, that's a good one. Was with the Phillies very briefly.
And Texas Rangers too, right? He was.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Played forever, right? I mean, he was.
Yeah. He hit. Yeah, he was like in his 40s, I believe, and still is an effective batter.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. There's the list. So we had Jim Brown, Tris Speaker, Bob Feller, Otto Graham, Nat Lajoie, even though I already said it the way you said it, Eddie. LeBron, Shoeless Joe, Ozzie Newsome, Kelsey, Stipe. Michael Stipe in the last pick. Great front man, right, Andy? Michael Stipe.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you're over the age of 95, then Keith's list looks pretty good. Or a historian like Mark. I know Mark is not over the age of 95, so. But I know. Mark, I'm pretty sure I lost Mark's. I'm pretty sure I got lost Mark's vote.
You might get, for people who know who Stipe is, you might get some vote. And
I know, that's what I'm saying.
For basketball fans.
That's what I'm saying. He moved from Alabama to Cleveland in 1922.
Yeah.
And he was only like 9 years old. So
I've been in Cleveland. I'm not putting myself on the list. That doesn't count. Just
well, you also didn't go over and beat Hitler, so I don't think anybody's putting you on any list anytime soon.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I've drafted Jesse Owens in 2 drafts already in this podcast. So I
should have made 3. Triple.
Yeah, it would have worked. It wouldn't have worked. All right, but that's the drill. Pretty good list for us there. So, but guys, like we said, no draft next week, no podcast. Maybe we'll do a live. Probably not. We'll figure that out. Maybe we can do something.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, otherwise, guys, we have a show on Rips and Brews coming out tomorrow night, 8:00. One of my favorite Rips and Brews episodes to date, even though this is only number 4, I think. Or was it 3? 4. It's 4.
Okay.
It's 4. Yeah,
well, you want to give a little bit of a.
It's a history box, and we hit a nice relic card. So we'll just leave it there. It's a relic from space. Well, that's in the title. That's in the title.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving it away, but
we hit a relic from space. It was actually in space. So
space.
You gotta check it out to see.
Yeah, you gotta see that.
Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, but it's one of the funner boxes. It's not a word, but I'm gonna use it because I'm already down the path. One of the funner boxes we have opened so far. So, but yeah, there we go, guys. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll catch you then. Peace.
Out.